जय श्री माताजी। आज के सामूहिक ध्यान सत्र में उपस्थित सभी सहजी भाई बहनों का हार्दिक स्वागत है। ध्यान की शुरुआत कुंडलिनी चढ़ा के बंधन लेते हुए करेंगे। तीन महामंत्र और श्री गणेश मंत्र। श्री माताजी, हमारा आत्म साक्षात्कार दृढ़ कीजिएगा। पूरा चित्त हमारे सहस्त्रार में ही रखेंगे। इसी ध्यान की स्थिति को बरकरार रखते हुए हम अभी श्री माताजी की अमृतवाणी ग्रहण करेंगे।
It is so great to be with you people today on this auspicious day, to be with Australians who have proved to be very good Sahajogis and who have progressed in a very speedy manner. In their spiritual life. It gives me greatest pleasure to be with my children here. As you know, I have so many children all over the world. Apart from the one whom I actually physically gave birth. We have to think of all those today who are away from us, thousands of miles, praying to God Almighty for their spiritual ascent. One has to only pray for the spiritual ascent. Because as you ascend, you get all the rest of it. Because you do not ascend, you do not get what is needed. That's why there are problems. And even today I had to solve some problems before I could come to puja. But if you decide that we have to ascend spiritually within us, then everything that you have to receive, all the blessings that God wants to shower upon you, to make you the citizen of His great kingdom, where you are no more judged, you are no more chastised, you are no more put to any test, but where you reside in eternal love of God and in His glory. I could not believe about 10 years back that within 10 years I'll be able to achieve this result. You should not judge the progress of Sahajayoga in relation to other plastic gurus. Even to create one saint, you require 1,000 lives to pass. And so many have become prophets. It is a very big thing for them. Let us forget about what dents we have within ourselves. We have to know that we are prophets. This assumption has to be established that we are prophets. If you could just assume what you are, what you have become, you will emit the glory of God. Like a flower when it blossoms, it has its fragrance which flows automatically. But it's only human beings who have freedom, even not to assume, to dramatize, or to assume what they are. Even if they have become prophets, they still linger on with what they are not in imagination and are still frightened, are still ego oriented. It's false. It's not your true nature. It's like acting in a drama, becoming the actor. Like somebody is acting like Shivaji. So he becomes as if he is Shivaji. So whole lifestyle, everything changes, he becomes Shivaji. But the same person, if he is acting like Hitler, he becomes like Hitler. Both are artificial. But artificial, they become. Now when you are really prophets, you find it difficult to be the real person, what you are. But artificial, which is gone back, which is no more there. All finished. The sinner is dead. The egoistical is not there. The frightened one is gone forever. You are a prophet. Rise in the glory of that personality. People who are not prophets, who are not godly, who are doing anti-God activities, can assume to be prophets. But those who are really prophets do not want to assume the situation that they are. As soon as you assume, you become. We must today get over this kind of a play our mind has been doing so far. All falsehood has to drop out. Of course, as I said, I could never have dreamt that in 10 years I'll achieve these results. With so many devils around us to entice you. And credit must go to you people also. That despite all hurdles and problems you had, you have ascended. Ascended so far and have become beautiful prophets. We are so transformed that little more, just to assume what you are, will make you feel so sweet. I talked to my granddaughter, elder one. She's just a little girl, only 11 years of age. But she told her mother, now I can't talk to Nani because she's a goddess. How can I talk to her? I feel shy. At that age. While in her own life, as they are saying, she's topped in all the class. She's the editor in a magazine in her school. She's tremendous. And she's so humble that she told her mother, I feel shy to talk to Nani. She's a goddess. How can I talk to her? And Rustam told me that there are vibrations emitting from her. That's how you have to do. First of all, you have to know your prophets, and you must know that I am the Holy Ghost. I am the Adisha. I am the one who has come on this earth for the first time in this form to do this tremendous task. The more you will understand this, the better it will be. You will change tremendously. I knew I'll have to say that openly one day. And we have said it. But now it is you people who have to prove it that I am that. Christ had disciples who were not even realized souls. And they have spread Christianity, whatever it is. Under such circumstances that Christ was crucified, they were left high and dry. Just 12 people struggling, but they put it up. They were very humble. Their quality was they are extremely humble, and they knew the difference between them and Christ and the Mother. Also, they knew the difference between them and the others. And they took to lives which were pure, illumined by the name of Christ. They were not realized souls. They cleansed themselves and kept their lives beautiful. So Sahajogis can't afford to have these 6 enemies. First of all, the temper, which really doesn't behold compassion. Replace temper with compassion. Today is 60 birthdays, and we have to just fight only 6 enemies within ourselves. Second is, which most of you have done, is to retract your attention from perversion. Most of you have done it. Your eyes are better now, steady. But still, you are egoistic. Vanity. Still, people are jealous, competitive. You still have some lurking materialism. A new thing that is coming, you are getting attached to your families. So, we have to change it now in a different use. Same thing can be used for doing God's work. They can be used as the 6 hands of surgeons. The first one is the anger. You have to be angry with yourself when you do wrong things. And not to feel guilty but angry with yourself for doing wrong things. Guilty is the best way never to get rid of it. It's like a storehouse kept for personal archives, locked up. I have suffered a lot because of your guilty business. Very much. And they come out one by one. So you have to be angry with yourself when you feel guilty. How can I feel guilty? Why did I do such a thing? I'm not going to do it. So develop your anger against yourself and not against others. And anger could be reserved for the day of war. Otherwise, when the war will break out, all the Arjunas will drop their weapons, and it will be said that Arjuna was a great warrior till the war started. So we are not going to waste our energy in warring with things which are just like shadows. Not to fight the shadows. Sex, the perversion has to be diverted towards your family, your wife, and you have to respect your chastity now. The whole thing becomes nothing but chastity. You lead a chaste life. Not to be like a dog, but like to be like a human being. All that attention has to become chastity, which is your power, which is your protection, which is your connection with the divine. Not forced chastity, but a chastity of balance and understanding. With your family, with your wife, in a very chaste way, you can live. Same with women. It's more for women, I would say. That they should not join hands with other men who talk against your husbands or who teach you against your husbands. All such men should be thrown out of Sahajayoga who try to tell women against their husbands. This is a very sanctum sanctorium, place where you should not interfere against the husband. Nobody has right. If there is any problem, you should let me know. It's a sign of stupidity. Then the vanity must be made into pride. You should be proud that you are Sahajogis. Really proud. Raise your heads with pride that we are Sahajogis. Pride is never oppressive. It's a glorious thing to be proud. But vanity is. Actually, pride is nothing but the expression of self-esteem. Begging, borrowing, mimicry, all these things come from the less understanding of yourself. So vanity should be the pride, and the pride should be the expression of self-esteem. Self-esteem is very different from ego. One is reality, another is complete artificiality. Men now should behave like men and not like women, docile, like cows, to be tied with a rope wherever the women want them to. They have to leave the society. For the women's right in India, the women never fought, it's the men. They never fought. It's the men, because the men are also the fathers, the brothers, and they are concerned about the well-being of women. Women seldom fought there because they knew once they start politics of this fighting with men, there's no end to it. This is basically they knew they have to live with men, they can't fight them. But men themselves fought. Even in America, it was Abraham Lincoln who fought for the liberation of women, not women. So you have to be not egoistical, but proud. Proud that you are Sahajogis, proud that you are born on such a time when you have to carry on the duties of God's work. That God has chosen you, so that you should come up to that level. Like some people I find suddenly become morose, recluses in Sahajayoga. They will never be forgiven because God has given you so much. Supposing somebody gives you a diamond, you are proud, and you put it on and show. But when you have been given your spirit, you should be proud and not to behave like recluses. Some people feel I should not do any job now. I'll not go out. I'll sit at home and meditate. There's no place for such people in Sahajayoga. I can't do this. The word can't go should go away from the dictionary of people who are supposed to be Sahajogis. They just can't say I can't do it. So the self-esteem will give you that kind of a dynamism which is needed for Sahajayoga. A discreet dynamism, a wise dynamism. I won't have to solve your problems anymore. The quality of competition and jealousy should be brought down. There should be competition between yourself, what you wear and what you are. Who wins? Whether you are past or present. Your present should go fast, faster and faster, leaving this past behind as much as you can. There should be no competition between Sahajogis. In acquisition, sometimes I have seen also competition in shouting, screaming and being harsh to others. There's a big competition on. Let us have competition in compassion, in mildness, in sweetness, in beautiful behavior. Who is more cultured? Who is more gentlemanly? Who is deeper? Keep somebody an ideal before like that, whom you think is a very gentlemanly person, or a lady who is really like a lady. But on the contrary, if you have a lady who behaves like a man as your ideal, that is also not all right. Or a man who behaves like a woman, that's also not ideal. Or the other way around. A woman who tries to show that women are different from men and women must get this, that is in Sahajayoga there is nothing like women and men. That women must get this and man must get that because you are spirit. But the cover that you have, the body that you have, the light you have, the lamp that you have is a different thing. And to keep the light on, a woman has to be a woman and man has to be a man. As I yesterday told you, that an apple should not try to be a mango and mango should not try to be an apple. It looks nice to be the best apple and it looks nice to be the best mango. So the recluses, those who say that you want to get out of it, behave really not like human beings, but I think like, I don't know what animals do that way. Like when you get your doles, you cannot become indolent. You cannot. As far as possible, I don't like people taking doles. Not a sign of good surgeries. You all should be hardworking, you must have qualifications, you should be good people. On top of it, good students, good cooks, good mothers, good fathers, good administrators. From where are we going to get these people? We cannot be dishwashers, can we? So the competition between women and men must be stopped. Women must have their own place and men must have their own place. And women must know that men are their hands. If you are the Shakti, they are the machines. And don't kill your machine by shouting at them, by screaming at them, and by putting them down, making them diffident. You will have no place. You have to encourage them to do God's work. You have to support them, look after them, because they are the machine, they are the hands, and you are the power. Of course, if these hands go against the power, they will suffer. So there should be no competition between children and you, my child and his child. There should be not such competition. Take out your mind from there. There should be complete sharing. So the competition should end in sharing. How much we share? How much can we share? See, drunkards can't sit and drink alone. They have to have some people to share. The thieves must have 10 people to thieve. But when it comes to the nectar of God's love, how can we alone have it? Cannot enjoy. There's no enjoyment at all. So let us be gentle and kind with each other. The people who are going to enjoy the nectar should have competition in sharing that nectar by which they get more and more of that. Who shares more? Who is more generous? Materialism should be taken to its beauty. You can have one thing done with your hand. That's much more beautiful than running after money, counting money. You'll become crackpots. Really, those who count their money morning till evening are real crackpots. They always lose money. There's something wrong with their brains. Count your blessings. See life, the beauty in matter. How life has worked. See a mood, I see the pattern it has created on the life. But it's not morose. It's not dead. It's not insipid. It's bubbling. You can see in art. You can see in all that is beautiful the reflection of God's creative power and the joy that he wanted to emit for your happiness. While you become slaves of matter, he never wanted you to be that. You are the masters. Last of all is the attachment to your children, to your wife. Your. Whatever is mine is not I. My house, that's not I. My this, my, must be given up. Mamatva is to be destroyed. Instead of that, you should say we. We is a good word. I so many times say we. And people start wondering one day. Somebody asked him, Mother, when you say we, what do you mean? How can you make us feel that way, that we are all one, the way you say we? I said, why not? You are part and parcel of my body. Aren't we we? Do I separate my finger from my heart? If you are part and parcel of my body, then I have to talk like we, because I am conscious of this collective being sitting here. So we have to talk like we and not I, my. And when you have to address about yourself, speak it in a third person. Like you can say, this Nirmala is now going to London. Really, it's true. Because this body is going there, but my heart is going to remain here. So to say that I am going is not true. If I am Adi Shakti, where am I going? I am going nowhere. I am everywhere. Where can I go? There's no place where I don't reside. And if I have to go to such a place, is hell only, where I don't want to go. So, what I say, that this Nirmala is going now, leaving Australia. Tomorrow I'll be. So, what happens? Just this body has to move. That's all. Like that, you start saying about your body, this mind of mine, this mind of Mr. So-and-so. It's better to address yourself Mr. or Mrs. or Miss. So, Miss, will you please get up now? Better address yourself. Children talk like that, like a third person. You'll be amazed. You will see the joke behind the whole thing. You'll know how to laugh at yourself. Oh, so, Mister, come along. Now he is behaving like this. And you'll really become a master of yourself, because you know how to handle this baby. It will give you that sense of maturity. So to say, this is my child, this is my wife, of course you have to look after your wife and your children because they are your responsibility. But do for other children more than you would like to do for your own child. There's somebody who has come. So, this complete identification with your children, overprotectiveness, will give you trouble. You have to believe that your family is the family of your father, and your mother is looking after it. If you think you can look after your family by yourself, go ahead. So don't be overprotective, don't be too worried, too upset about your family. And keep a very sociable temperament so that your children also don't become like you. Tell them how to share. If one child has fallen off, ask other children to help. Form plays in which you should show how a child who is coming, who cannot walk properly, how other children go and try and find out methods how to help him to come out. Teach them through dramas, through stories, through various things what is goodness is. You must help even without the idea of help. It's a pleasure, it's a privilege, it's a great honor that you can do. We must change our ideas completely. Many people have a habit to serve your child first. It's absurd, absolutely very vulgar. Shows bad breeding. Must serve others first and then your own family. Keeping something back for your children, hiding some food for your children is all a sign of a person who is like a Kupa Manduka, means a frog who lives in a small well. Get over it. Try, men, to form your own group of men, and women should form their group of women. There should be no instruction to women from men too much. It's not proper. I have discovered so many funny things. I can't understand how these things work out. But it is because one side you feel your family is too much, your husband is too much, you must be absolutely secluded from all the rest. Or on the other side, it is that you give up your husband completely, he's no good, the marriage is unsuccessful, stick on to something else, which is supposed to be a something higher goal of destruction. So both things are not good. You must stand for your husband or wife or for your children when it is right. But obviously you should not do it. Apparently you should not do it. You should tell your child, all right, I understand, but I don't want to do it in the public. People should not also know that he is your child. The way he mixes up with others, stays with others, shares with others, that's a Sahajayogi should be. You know, as for myself, I have not even given realization to my children so far. Can you believe it? Leave alone the knowledge of Kundalini. You can teach them. I know I can give them any time I want to. I have not given them time at all. No time to them. If you see, how much time do I spend with my own daughters? Very little time. In the whole year. This year I was there for 3 days with her. So the relationship at this time is the most important, is of Sahajayoga and Sahajogis. I've seen some Sahajogis write to their parents, to their mothers, to their brothers, much more than they write to the other Sahajogis. It's very amazing. To their fathers, but not to other Sahajogis. You must start writing to other Sahajogis. Those who have lived in London, How many of them are writing to people in London? Have they made any friends or anything? Nothing of the kind. They are so busy with their own problems. They are not bothered to create that bondage of love. As if they have no interest in Sahajayoga. They stayed in the ashram. In London, how many of you are writing letters to them? To London people. How many letters do you write? Now you have met them in this program. How many of you are writing letters to them and keeping contact? How much does it take to write a letter? Nothing. I hope as soon as you go back today, you all should write letters about today's birthday, how it was celebrated in a beautiful way. Not to your family, not to your people, but to others. All of them are all over. You know how they are. You write to them because you know they are heads of the things. Like if you write to Gregor, or you can write to Ruth in Italy, you can write to Genevieve in Geneva. You have met all of them. You should write. Ladies must write to ladies and men must write to men. Arno is in Lausanne. Why not write to him? He's there. Now, do you know that his wife has to go to America for a delivery? We should know about each other very intimately. How many people I know? So many things, all the details. That's how. You must flood yourself with that love. Tomorrow you go to America or to any one of these places. You have there your brothers and sisters already established. Write to them about your mother, what you think. You only write to me sometimes, but never to each other. Don't write too big letters, to me specially. But write nice, sweet letters, poetic letters. They'll feel happy. It's like sending flowers. Taking ideas from there. It will be a very good idea. What's the matter? Thus, you'll overcome these 6 enemies and make them your slaves and use them for your purpose. Then they'll become great things. They'll be your assistants. Then they will be your commanders of your army. They'll be your decorations. It is all in your hand. With wisdom, you have to do it. At this time, at the age where I have reached, I was always there, same age. I've been always matured like this, child like this, just like a young girl and an old woman, all put together, every year, every time. But I've definitely matured in understanding human beings. I've definitely got better understanding and maturity as far as my knowledge about human beings are concerned, because they are, when I was born, they were strangers to me. Just strangers, imagine. That Adi Shakti should say this, but it's true. Despite I have created you, I was absolutely a stranger. But now I have grown, I have understood you very well. I know you are my children. I know how much you love me and how much you are close to me. Why is he crying so much?
He wants to go to the toilet, no?
Let him take away.
He wants me to go with him. I'm trying to say he can do it himself.
Let him go. This is the thing. You see, these children are very obstinate, I personally think.
Yeah. He wants me to go with him. That's the thing.
That's it. That's brutish, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can see. Let him go.
Yeah.
He won't listen. Better go. See. All right, take him down. What to do? You see, they're very obstinate. The boots. Such a big boy can't go to the toilet. Just to disturb him, that's all. You got this. You must really slap him now. If you give 2 slaps now, his boot will go. 2 slaps are needed. Next time he won't do that. You see, at this time you must slap. Not very hard, but let him know that you don't like it. Boots can sometimes go away only with slapping. I've seen, especially with children, it happens. 2 slaps on the face and they are all right. Because they are boots, you see, and they have to go away. Now, whatever I have said to you yesterday for children, be careful. You have to make your children assets and not liabilities on Sahajayoga. So try to train them up properly. Bring them up. They deserve a good hand to handle it. In the beginning, you have to be very strict and punish them if they do anything wrong. So they know what is right, what is wrong. And once they grow up, you will be amazed what an asset they are. Some of them are very good children. But if the influence of the bad children comes up too much, they might spoil the good children also. So better encourage children who are good, who have been very sweet. So I think of my young age, of my childhood, and the dream, how it has come true. Whatever I have dreamt is beyond my imagination. It's done now. As far as I am concerned, you don't need me much anymore. I have told you whatever was needed for your counseling. I have taught you the methods how to redeem others and comfort them. You know everything. Now just become masters in this art. Forgetting your past. You are all great people. All of you. So, even next year, I should see you sitting on this seat. Not in my lap. On your own. Teaching your children. Let the second generation start now. The first generation is ready. Now the second generation has to come and you have to look after the second generation. I want to be a real grandmother of very grandchildren. That's a special privilege and real promotion and maturity. Look at this. He's going to flood your Paramata. Because I have said now I am the Holy Ghost. Everybody seems to be over happy and joyous. So thank you very much for having me here. And think of all the Sahajogis all around the world, all of them. Today, I think we should send some telegrams, about 12 telegrams, if possible, to all the centers saying 60th birthday of Mother was celebrated with great joy. She sends blessings or something. They'll be very happy. But according to Indian method, it is 61st. Because the day I was born, that was also a birthday. That was the real birthday. So they call it 61. And we are going to have a big program in India also. You are specially favored people. And I hope you'll favor me specially too. This year, I hope all of you are going to take up a new role and a new style of life where you become mild people. Not docile men, but mild people and docile women. Women have to be more docile, domesticated. They'll look nice. They'll become gentle, they smile better. They create such joy. We are here to create joy and not to enjoy some rites which are artificial. To create joy. How much joy do we create? How much joy do we give to others? So today, on this great occasion, we have to feel our joy within our heart. Very deep down within us lies that source of joy. So we have to go deep down within ourselves and feel the joy of the 60-year-old mother of yours that I have within myself. Go deep down. It's there. Enjoy it and then give it to others. Like a fountain of joy you should live. May God bless you.
अब हम निःशब्द ध्यान में रहते हैं। दोनों हाथ जोड़ के श्री माताजी के प्रति आभार व्यक्त करते हैं और प्रार्थनाएं अर्पित करते हैं। परम पूज्य श्री माताजी, आज का सामूहिक ध्यान हम आपके श्री चरणों में समर्पित करते हैं। आज के ध्यान में आपने हमें निरानंद प्रदान कर हमें चैतन्य से आशीर्वादित किया, इसलिए हम आपके हृदय से ऋणी हैं। संपूर्ण विश्व में विश्व निर्मल धर्म प्रस्थापित करने हेतु कृपा कर हमें सहयोग प्रचार प्रसार का शुद्ध एवं प्रभावी माध्यम बनाइएगा माँ। हमारी सभी प्रार्थनाओं का स्वीकार कर हमें आशीर्वादित करने की कृपा करना माँ। जय श्री माता जी। सामूहिक बंधन लेते हैं। आज का ध्यान केंद्र संपन्न होता है। जय श्री माता जी।